I really appreciate you coming on. I was like shocked to see you reply in my DMs. I was like just sharing some of my content, and then like you got back to me. I was like, holy shit! How does this guy have 300,000 followers and he gets back to this one little dude?
Because I'm just a guy at the end of the day. People like freak out all the time. I don't, to me, I don't see myself as any, like, I'm just a page, man. Like, no one knows me. Like, a few people know me, but like, to me, it's just fun. And this is what I do. And I'll respond to DMs because I know it sounds cheesy and cliche, but like, where are you with the people, without the people that follow you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, you just reached out and I liked your editing style. I wasn't sure if that was like an app that you did because it was like so clean. I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, this is dope. And then you asked me to be on the pod and I was like, yeah, fuck it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Are we allowed to swear, by the way? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for
you
it,
can let it
man.
fly.
I don't know if you guys are trying to be YouTube friendly or monetization skills or whatever the hell's going on.
Oh yeah, we didn't really think about that, but I don't think we have an audience to really
Well, yeah, but
so.
until I get fucking canceled for swearing on episode 16. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. It's like we talked on the phone a bit, and you were like telling me about how you got started. It's kind of a funny story, you know. You were, what was it again? Like someone wanted to hang out with you, and then you're like,
That's just my buddy. That's just my buddy trying to take credit for it. Like it's a joke. It didn't actually happen, but the story was like I asked him to hang out one night or something, and he like said no. So I was like, fuck it, I'm bored, and I just started an Instagram account posting hockey memes, and apparently that was it. But I don't believe that. It's just him being funny. But yeah, man, I literally just started it for fun. Like I was posting a lot of hockey memes and stuff at the time. This is in 2012, by the way. So this is like foreign.
OG.
My Instagram was like foreign to everybody. This is OG shit for sure.
This
like
is when Instagram was like a filter.
Barely even yeah. Like when they had that little ugly brown logo, like the icon. Oh my God, that was awful. But like, man, I literally just was posting hockey memes and stuff on my personal like Instagram. I didn't know anything. I was just posting funny shit. And then my friends were like annoyed. They were like, hey man, just like too much hockey shit. Just post like a cool thing. I'm like, dude, I got nothing. I'm like, I'm just going to start a page and let's just see what happens. So I did. And it just happened. I have no like crazy story. Like I worked with a bunch of accounts. We'll dive deeper into it, but like, I just don't have nothing. That's just what it was. I just started the page and here I am.
8 years later, which I don't think a lot of people understand. Like for the most part, they see an account with 300,000 followers, like 100,000 followers, and like, oh, did this happen overnight? I'm really interested. When was it for you? If you could paint a picture, like when did you kind of know that it was going to be something more than just like a hobby or something that you were doing on the side?
Probably like year 3. I'm pretty sure I had like 50 to 60,000 followers, and I was like started getting deals, not deals, like brands would reach out and they'd be like, hey, we'll pay you. Or we'll not pay you. They just said, we'll trade you clothes. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I was like 17, or I was like 18, or sorry, no, I was like 20. But I was like, I don't really know how to make money. Like, I don't know what to charge and stuff. I was like a little shy and stuff. And I didn't really know my worth at the time. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take your free clothes. So I just got loads. I fucking just boxes sent to my house all the time. And I was like, we're just posting stuff. So I was making all these companies money. I'm like, well, what the fuck? I want kind of a piece of the pie. I'm like, oh, and then I was like, oh, I asked for money. And then sure enough, like I was like, oh shit, I can actually like, I have a little bit of power here. I can do something with this. And then I just kept going. I was like, holy shit, this is a business. I'm like, I just started this for fun. And now it could be like, this could be my career. And then here we are 8 years later, well, I guess it's 5 years because I didn't make any money for the first 2 years, but it's been wild. It's been a wild ride, man. I've done some shit on this page, through this page for sure.
So obviously you probably played hockey growing up, right?
I did for 16 years, but I was brutal. I was like fucking house league, like whatever.
Oh, no.
Like it was awful. I was trash. So I was like, fuck it, let's just go to the media side of things. And I think that worked out a little better than what I was gonna do with hockey. So
yeah, exactly. Like, were you kind of like the funny guy, or?
Yeah, I was definitely always trying to make people laugh for sure. But like house league is just like whatever. You just go there, you show up, you skate, you have fun, and you just go home. Like it's not really it's cool, but like it's whatever. I never considered anything. I still play now, just like locally and whatever. And just True sent me some skates, like customizable skates that 2 years ago. I haven't even used them yet. So should probably break those in. It's bad. I know. I need to get back out there.
That's super sick, man. So like, when was like the moment you were like, I think this is actually going to be my life. Like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to get a job. Like, I'm just going to do IG.
I still don't have that moment yet. Cause it's still like, it's not a lifelong thing right now. Like, I think I'm great where I'm at right now, but I don't think it's like sustainable for life. Like, unless I do some shit to make it, cause like, it's not consistent enough payment wise. I'd have to find better outlets and everything, but it's like a really good side job. I'd consider that right now, but I'm doing it full time just right now while I figure some stuff out. But it's been incredible. Like I've never really had that one like moment like holy fuck, but just like seeing followers every day and seeing the power you have on social media is just incredible and something you don't want to give up.
You mentioned like didn't you like go to like you were at was some sort of retreat you were telling me about where you were like hanging out with Barber and
it wasn't a retreat. It was the Minnesota high school hockey tournament.
Oh,
that
yeah,
happens
yeah.
every year.
Legendary.
Man, it's incredible. If you guys can ever get the chance to go out there, definitely do it. Even like as fans or whatever, like just people who like hockey, it's an insane weekend. They have the high school hockey tournament. For everyone who doesn't know, it's like a high school hockey tournament. They fill up the XL Energy Center every single game, 20,000 seats to watch high school hockey. Like every single seat, like sold out, like scalpers on the streets. Like I feel like I'm at an NHL game when this happens. Luckily,
really?
we've been there enough. We have the connection, so we don't need to worry about the tickets and stuff. But the first year we had to scalp tickets. I'm like, where the fuck am I going? I'm going to watch 15-year-olds play hockey right now, and I'm scalping tickets. I'm like, what the fuck's going on, dude? It's a different world. Like our high school games. Like I'm pretty sure my high school games are like 15 people that went to the games. Like no one gives a shit about high school hockey in Canada. I don't think at all. Maybe a little bit more in like the GTA, but no one gives a shit in Windsor for sure. But that whole scenario, like it was just like I got invited out there by Pacific Rink, and they just flew me out, and we had a good time. I'm good friends with them, so it's like a yearly thing that we've been doing, and we ended up renting a 10-bedroom like mansion. I guess it wasn't even like it was like an older style, but it was just fun. It was just fun. It's usually like a 3-tiered thing that they rent out, like an Airbnb style house, but we just rented the whole thing out, and there was like Barber, Nasher, the Hockey Shot guys, Mars Blade guys, Pacific Rink, me, and Jeremy all in the same house. Actually, no, I think Barber stayed with us, but he was in the house, like whatever. And it was just insane to meet with everyone and just listen to the way they're creative and the way that their mental aspects work with everything. And like, it's just different for sure. It's cool because usually like my friends, they get it, but they don't when it comes to that stuff. So when you're with all people that get it and that are in the industry, it's incredible.
Now, for the people that don't know all the guys that you just mentioned, if you could just quickly run through who these people are. I saw these people grow up on social from like 10K followers. Now they're like these huge hockey influencers. But while that was happening, it was like, I think they took a lot of shit from like the hockey community because they're like, why are you posting this? And right, like hockey is something that's always been very conservative. So if you wouldn't mind just running through who these people are and like what they do, I think our audience could really benefit from that.
Start with Nasher. We'll start with Nasher. He's a YouTuber, plays NHL, like streams NHL. And that guy's a game changer, man. He is a Bauer athlete now. He's signed on a contract with Bauer. He's like, he's legit. He's legit as they come. That's his living. That's how he makes money. And I'm sure, people saying growing up, like him playing NHL 20 or NHL video series, like get a fucking job. But that guy is absolutely crushing it on every aspect right now. He's probably number one. Him and Barber for me are like number one as like hockey influencer, the power. And then I put like Barber and Jeremy How to Hockey. Hey Barber, I think everybody knows Hey Barber, but if you don't, he's got a massive following. Kind of like shares videos like me, but also does his own stuff with his stick handling and stuff like that. Has a massive following. I think like 600K on Insta, a couple 100,000 on YouTube for sure. And that's how he makes his living as well. And he signed with a bunch of companies and stuff. They're just game changers, guys who aren't afraid to just be themselves and be who they are and just show everyone. That's what we're here though, right? To grow the sport of the game and hopefully change some minds. That's what I try to do with my page too. Like it's all like it's all old heads. So you try to like not change their opinions, but just like help them evolve with the game and the way it is. Jeremy How to Hockey. Everybody I think knows him, like the internet's hockey coach pretty much. Like I don't know if you don't know him, you should look him up for sure. If you want to even learn any basics, he has like basic training, like advanced training, whatever. He's a great guy too. And all these guys are just making money off social media, man, and they're doing it better than anyone else in the business right now in the hockey space. Oh, Zach Bell too. He wasn't with us on that trip, but
he's blown up recently.
He is incredible too. Like he was huge, like probably 3-4 years ago, and then took a break, and then now he came back and he's absolutely crushing it with reels and like TikTok and everything.
Oh yeah,
the whole like quick, his style too. He does the tricks and stuff and the creativity stuff, so it's a little easier for him. But like TikTok, that was amazing for him for sure. He's got like 500K on there, I'm pretty sure, or at least 300K on there, and that TikTok's new, so that came like overnight. So I mean, yeah, these are just guys who are just changing the game in a better way, at least.
Exactly. But like you're talking about like your friends that they don't like get it, and like you're with all these guys and they just get it. Like are they like coming up with strategies to get, more viewership and engagement? Like what are like the conversations like when, you're talking about like your business and where you guys work in that influencer hockey space?
It's funny because we all do the same thing roughly, but we all have different ways of doing it. So like that's kind of when we get together, it's kind of like a conversation of like what am I doing and how can I do it better? Or like what can we do to make more money together? Or how are we going to change the game? How are we gonna come up with new strategies? How are we talk about like content? Like for me, it's a little different. They create stuff, I kind of just share stuff, so it's a little different. But I still have the social media aspect and like the brains behind it. So I still have the ideas and stuff. I've just never put out my own content, but that's a whole nother story that we'll probably get into. But yeah, those guys are just insanely creative, man. It's just cool having conversation with people who get everything you're talking about. Because like if I chat with my friends, they get it a little bit because I've been talking to them, but it's not like it's more of a, yeah, okay, that's cool. And they just like kind of agree, but these guys will actually give me the input back and they'll tell me, hey, don't do that, do this, try this. This is working for me. So it's cool to see other companies that are killing it and it's strategies that work for them. So yeah, that's pretty much that.
Looking at like hockey culture, Moses saying it's conservative, which it is, and like the game needs to like change and get people on board, and you were saying like you just want to get more people on board. So like is that something you're trying to do with your social media, with the messaging in the comments or the content? Like how do you think that we can, like I make video content with hockey as well, and I'm just trying to think, I want more people in the game as well. It's such a cool game, but how do you do it? I almost think it needs to be like led by the athletes, not just the media.
Yeah, Evander Kane and Jake Paul need to fight. That's how it has to happen. No, man, it's honestly super tough. It's such a niche sport. Like I know it doesn't seem like that for us because it was like, I don't know if you guys have been brought up the same way, but I only know hockey in Canada. Like I don't, like obviously I like other sports and stuff, and being from Windsor, unfortunately I like the Detroit Lions and like those I don't like Detroit Red Wings. That's disgusting. I'm a Habs fan, so come at me, everyone.
What the hell? You're like all good in the West.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
a Habs fan. What about Toronto?
My dad grew up in Ottawa, but Ottawa didn't have a team at the time.
Right.
And he had some family in Montreal that he would go to games with all the time. That's how he became a fan. And Guy Lafleur was his favorite player. What was I just talking about? Sorry, you're gonna have to I lost my train of thought.
Talking about the Habs.
Because you said you want to onboard more people on hockey. But like what are like the active steps people can take? And you were saying, Logan or Jake Paul fighting Evander Kane.
Jake Paul fighting Evander Kane. That's the only thing I have for you. Honestly, I have no idea how to get people more into hockey, but you're trying to get people to like notice different stuff. Like when I post like tricks and stuff like that, everyone immediately is like, fuck that shit, that he would get destroyed. I'm like, but why? Like it's creative. He's not doing it in the NHL. He's not going to ever try that in the NHL. Like he's just being creative and bringing more eyes. Like, do you know how many people, I don't know the numbers, but like, do you know how many kids Zach Bell has turned into hockey fans because he posts TikToks of doing tricks, and like kids are like, holy shit, I can do that. It's a hockey stick. You can go to fucking Walmart and buy a hockey stick for $20, a puck for like whatever, $5, and like you can learn that shit. It's not that hard. You don't need the equipment and everything. If you want to be creative, and you can still do hockey shit without actually playing hockey, if you think about it. And I just think like, because everyone thinks it's an expensive sport. It is expensive if you want to play it and get into it, but I think to watch it, you don't really need, it's such a fun sport to watch to me. Like I know I'm biased, but like I don't think there's a more fun sport to watch really. The only times I get bored of hockey is to watch the Devils play their like trapezoid shit, like 1-3-1, like that boring shit to me. But I get that's part of the strategy, but it's not boring, man. I could toss it, like I said, I'm a Habs fan, but I'll watch a Leafs game. I'll watch, like, I hate the Leafs, I hate the Bruins. I'll watch any of their games. Like it's just like a fan of the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To me, it's like such an exciting sport. There's always something going on. Like
exactly.
Soccer, I love soccer too. Like I love every sport. A lot of people are like, oh, do you like hockey, so you have to hate every other sport? No, I like every other sport. Every sport's like super different. So I don't know. To me, like I feel like hockey just needs to be more. The NHL like sucks at. I'll just say this. I don't even care. The NHL sucks at marketing themselves. Like I saw a funny interview that I don't remember who. I think like Jimmy Kimmel or one of those like late night shows, and they said like they went to they were in Nashville. I forget. I think maybe the All-Star game or whatever the hell it was. And they were like, do you know this player? And it was like, I'm pretty sure it was Roman Yossi, Connor McDavid, because Roman Yossi is the captain of Nashville. Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby. And I'm pretty sure like maybe they asked like 30 people and like 5 people knew who any of them were. I'm like, this is so fucking ridiculous. I'm like the NHL needs to market their stars better. You see guys like LeBron. Everybody in the world knows who LeBron James is. You like basketball or you don't like basketball, you know who LeBron James is.
So here's the thing. LeBron James loves the camera. I mean, this is a guy who's
Hockey
calling
players
himself.
don't love the camera the way that LeBron
Look at
James
guys.
loves
Well,
the
that's
camera.
that's the issue. It's the players for sure have to step up, but nobody's willing to. There's guys who are starting though. There's guys who are starting like Subban. He's number one for sure in my opinion. He's also one
I
of my
love
favorite
it.
players. But like everything he's doing and like is just incredible. He's got the podcast. He's got the thing with Lindsey Vonn. Like he's doing everything he can to fulfill, to grow the sport too. Like I guess if Evander Kane, you can say now with calling out Jake Paul, like obviously that's a money play and this is just like a clout play in my opinion. But I think it's a great call out for the sport. It's going to rub so many people the wrong way, but you have to break barriers like that in order to change the mold. Cause it's just like like you said, it's conservative people who just like get on the ice, fucking wear a suit, fucking, you know what I mean? Like in the bubble, they miss that's something that drove me insane. And I actually had good conversations with the people at Triple D, JT Barnett, the founder. He's a good friend of mine. And like, we were having so many conversations with them and the Triple D crew. And like, dude, like, why not let these guys go all out? I know they did, but they didn't. They were like, here's your fucking polo, wear that shit. Like, dude, like let the players, like, you know what I mean? Like a couple players did, like Matthews, and of course Delise got bounced early, so that was fucking 2 minutes of Matthews' fame time. But you grow the sport. If you want to grow the sport, let the players be creative. Like, who gives a shit if Matthews wants to wear fucking a pink sweater or something? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Let the guy, like, that gets more eyes on the sport. That's what you need.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to go back to the NHL and marketing. If like, I think you could take a person off the street and show them the NHL account and then show them your account, and they could obviously tell it's different. I'm wondering like how you view your account as being different from the NHL. Like, do you post different content? Do you focus on like maybe the cultural aspect? Like, how are you different than what the NHL is doing?
I'm what the NHL should be. Like with like the NHL, well, maybe not. I do a lot of like sarcastic, witty comebacks and like shit talking, pretty much, because I know that
people love that. Like people like getting
they do, because
that's
especially that's the hockey culture. So like if people chirp me or something on the page, I'll comment back with something witty, or I'll text a friend who I have like a go-to friend who's like pretty witty. I'm like, what do you got for me?
Like
this,
you have a ghostwriter?
Yeah. Not a ghostwriter, but just like if I can't think of something on the spot, I got a guy who's a little bit quicker than me who can come up with some stuff quick. And I'm just like, it's authenticity to me. Like you have to be who you are. And I've always been the kid trying to make people laugh, and that's still me. And now that I have the platform to do it, it's a little more fun when you get like 1,000 likes on your comment response to a guy who's like some guy. I remember this is the one that always sticks out to me. And it was like the World Juniors, I think last year, the year before, he like commented, some guy headbutted a guy. And I think it was like an American or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's 2 for headbutting. Like, just made a funny joke or whatever. And the guy was like, yeah, why'd you post this? I'm like, because it's a fucking hockey page and I post hockey highlights and this is a highlight. And it got like 2,000. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just simple shit like that. But obviously the NHL is not going to do that. But like I think the NHL just needs to let the players be creative, but players also have to be creative.
I want to jump in quick because I think that there's I don't know if it's ever been like voiced, but I do think there's been a push inside the NHL to like distance themselves from violence, distance themselves from fighting, and maybe like the old school culture. Like there is no way that a Don Cherry Rock'em Sock'em gets released in 2020 just because like the NHL doesn't want to be associated with that. But like, in what ways do you guys think? I'll open it up to both of you. Like, I honestly think that hurts them in some ways because you're like alienating the people that built the culture of the sport.
Yeah, I think both. I think you need to just do a little bit of everything and see what works. Like the NHL needs to just try something. I know their mass following is like all older people and like conservative, probably for the most part. Like I'm not talking political, just conservative people. And I just like, it just sucks the way they just keep feeding that. They don't care to like get new kids into the game. It's just more of like just keep feeding everyone that's a current fan, and those current fans will just make more fans that are just going to be brought up that way. And it's a stupid cycle. Like no one's willing to break the mold to change the game. They also don't have budgets, I guess. Like they don't other teams are just bigger. Like other sports are just bigger than hockey. Like hockey's like the 5th or 6th biggest sport in America, I'm pretty sure. And like that's not, or like it might be like 4th, but to me, I don't know. I think hockey is number 1 in Canada by far. I'm pretty sure. I could technically like consider lacrosse. I don't know. I think it's hockey. It's number 1, but breaking the mold is the most important part for sure. And like they just got to find some new stuff to do to get people involved, to get more kids involved and more kids wanting to play hockey. Like you never see kids like grow up in the States that would be like, oh, I want to play hockey. I want to play baseball, football, or basketball for the most part. So it'd be cool to see some players step out of their shell and change the mold.
But how much of that is top down management kind of punishing people or maybe blackballing people if, you know, you wear a flashy suit and you're making it about you, like, oh, superstar, like superstars in the room, you know?
They all literally kill the creativity of the game. That's where it has to start. It has to start with the NHL. Like I'm talking, when I mean NHL, I don't mean just their social team. I'm talking about coaches and managers. Like Lou Lamoriello is a perfect example. The Islanders released those reverse retro jerseys and like
looked like a practice jersey.
That that was Detroit's. That was awful. But like New York just basically kept their same jersey. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, bring back the fisherman. Like everyone loves the fisherman. Like switch that shit around. Like and make a cool jersey out of it. Like your fans would love that shit. But it's just like creativity. They don't care. They're just like get on the ice, play, and win. You know, games. Like it's too like I don't know how to like uniform. I don't know how to say that. I guess that's the right word for it, but.
So I don't know how I feel about this with my friend watched a bunch of basketball and he's like, a lot of these courts have their own like style to them. Like the key is like a different color or like the boards are a different color.
No, I love that. The Brooklyn Nets have that like super dark court. It's pretty dope.
Like, do you think there's any space for like maybe changing up, not like making it like a different color ice surface, but you know, like the blue paint in the crease? Like what if that was changed color? Could that ever work?
I don't think that's gonna happen in hockey.
It's not gonna happen in hockey, but
sport, no.
Maybe in Sweden.
I don't even think it would work.
But would that shit work?
Think, like, I don't think that would work. But like, no, it's more like the NHL. I feel like needs to support accounts like ours too, instead of trying to get them removed. You know what I mean? That's another thing. I know this is a kind of a little off topic. I don't think the on ice stuff would work whatsoever in the hockey space at all.
But like, don't you think,
especially with
basketball guys, said the same thing?
Yeah.
Until they tried it.
I just don't see the following of hockey fans to just be reactive well to that news. Like It's just like, can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine? If they were like, we're going to change the red line to purple, people would be like, are you fucking kidding me? What? I'm never watching this sport again. Fuck, hockey is the worst sport ever. Like a little thing. I don't think that's something small like that, like changing. Well, it's not even small, but I don't think a little thing like that would make a massive difference on growing the game. I think like they have to do, I think social media is the most powerful tool in the world, probably. All right. Like I think everyone literally gets up, at least for the most part, probably 80% of the world probably gets, or 80% of people who have smartphones probably get up in the morning and fucking check social or check Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So like, I think the NHL needs to do a better part of just marketing themselves more to just gain more fans, as in like, I'm not just saying this to me personally, but why would the NHL not want to promote a page like mine? I'm sharing the game also. I'm doing it differently than them. I'm showing like fights that you won't see. I'm showing, well, I guess now I see why I've just walked into my own point. But like I'm showing like vintage clips. I'm showing like different stuff. I'm showing cool designers, like a guy, like a buddy of mine, Luke Szymanski is a designer. I post a bunch of his concept jerseys and they sell and stuff. Like why would you not want to show that creativity of all fans who love the sport and just like support each other? And it's everyone's, it's like greedy. Everyone's wants to be like, the NHL just wants all the shit for themselves. But they've been doing a little bit better social wise. Like they've been sharing like Barbara and like the creators. So it's like, it's getting a little better with that, but they're still getting shit on in the comments. I don't know if you guys read that, but that's what it takes though. You have to let people shit on you until it becomes like a normal and they're okay with it.
It's almost like they should hire these influencers as like independent 100%. Contractors. And it's 100%. Just like, you make us 50 videos a year and we're going to post it here and like even, brand the NHL.
Not even NHL specific, like maybe toss a jersey on, have product placement in there. There's so many options. Yeah. Like there's so many options for them to market, like use influencers and stuff. The NHL can give you jerseys on demand. Why don't you send a jersey of everyone's favorite team? Like all the top 50 influencers right now in hockey. Make a video. There you go. That's what is that? 50 million views off what? $20 jerseys that you make? You know what I mean? Just little things that I think can help even just grow the sport.
And maybe to your earlier point, right? Like if the NHL isn't going to be I think the NHL account, it has like 4 million followers, but that's mostly a PR channel, if nothing else, right? Like a guy retires or somebody gets signed, like all of that information is going to get funneled through there. Whereas if I look at somebody like Barber, who's like very niche, it's not just hockey, it's hockey and skills and hockey and stick handling, or your page curating like jerseys and vintage stuff. I don't think they have a whole lot of runway with what they can post on their own account. Because I think if I don't know what goes on inside the NHL office, but I would imagine just having interactions with hockey accounts, like everything must go down like a very tight funnel. Like if your chief marketing officer doesn't like it, it's not going to get posted. Whereas like that friction just doesn't exist with your account or Barber's, because you post whatever you think is going to do well with your audience. So like, when are we going to get to a point where the NHL is like, I do want to do this collaboration with these 10 influencers, because they just have so much more leeway over what they can post?
I honestly have no clue what it's going to take. Like, I don't see why. Like, these guys are budding stars already in the space right now. It seems silly to me to not want to capitalize on that. So if they're not already doing it, it seems like they wouldn't want to do it. I don't think it's going to change for a long time unless the players start speaking out and acting as like a unit. And I think that would be the only way, personally. And then us accounts just try to keep doing what we can, not affiliated with the NHL whatsoever.
And when you say players, I'm like, it has to be the best players, because like you kind of need that like LeBron James where he's saying, you know, when I sunk that like bucket or whatever he did, I can't remember this like what exactly the action was, but he's like, I knew I was the greatest player of all time, and like that just like sparked crazy controversy.
You would never hear that from a hockey guy.
No. You would never.
No,
hockey guys probably
the team's
clown
good.
him. Yeah. But that shit is like cool to listen to, and it gets people talking.
Yeah, I just don't think I'd ever see a hockey player do that, just because they'd have to be a real ballsy one. And it's not that there isn't any. I bet there's definitely. I know there's players in the NHL that want to break the mold, but it's just such a.
But are they the best players? Because you kind of need the top dogs like the Crosbys and the McDavids, yeah. But they'll never do that.
I mean, dude, maybe with the younger generation, like Connor Bedard coming in the league and Shane Wright and those guys. I don't know if your depth on hockey knowledge, but those guys are gonna be.
Shane Wright, he's not much of a talker. That's a humble guy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But if you can get guys like them those guys are 15 or whatever. I don't know how old Shane Wright is. I know Bedard is 15, and that kid's ripping up the Swedish league or something right now. Why are you making a video and stuff? You know what I mean? Like, just make a video, make a vlog, do something like, hey, I'm 15. This is anything, man. Anything. Yeah. Just something. Especially if they're coming up in the league. Why would you not want, you know what I mean, to make a name for yourself even? But like I said, it's the mold that's just like, all right, be fucking humble, like go to your game, go home, wear your suit, and just relax. Like, I really have no idea what it's going to take to change it. I guess just like a band of players, and I don't see it happening for a while. Not with this generation of players.
For sure. I want to kind of just focus on what you've been doing with the Hockey Collective for a quick sec. So you talked about in the beginning, right? You monetized with, well, not even monetizing, just people would send you boxes and boxes of free shit. I mean, that's amazing. That's cool. But eventually, like, you're like, I'm doing this part-time and I need money. If you could just take us in like some of the early brand deals, like what did those look like? How did you know how much to price yourself? Was that something that you just kind of figured out on your own?
You figure it out on your own for sure. I worked with agents like 3-4 years ago, and they gave me an idea, and like you can get your account priced. There's like accounts that you can like show all your that they like take all your analytics and stuff, and they can tell you a fair price point. But like the fair price point for me is like for ad, and no one's gonna, unless you have marketing budget, you're not paying me dollars an ad. So I would love to get my estimated worth, but it's not happening. Like it can happen sometimes for sure, and it has happened before, but it's super unlikely that's like a once a year, unless you find like a brand to sign on with. Like that's what these guys are doing now. Like they're just signing contracts with brands, and they're
True or Bauer or whoever. Yeah.
And I've had like deals with True and stuff like that. Like where like I'm not going to tell you the monetary, but like it was 20 posts, 10 on I think it was like 8 on the story and 12 main page, and they paid me just a fee, and I cut off because you bought 20. I give them a little discount, and that's it. Every week we'd like get together. I would like share emails, and we would go over what we're going to post, and that's it. Like stuff like that. That's the way to do it for sure. Like sign the contract for sure. You want to sign like a 1-year deal or like a 6-month deal with the company and like make content for them. That's where the money's at in this space for sure. It's tough to make brand deals just solos because you never know what to charge. And you don't know what their marketing budgets are like. And then I'm like, there's companies that are like, I can tell are like smaller tier companies. And I'm like, I don't know if you can afford that, but I can't tell them that because maybe they can afford it and maybe they can't. I don't want to be too aggressive. And then if I'm too aggressive, I lose them. I'm not going to be like, hey, I charge for an ad, but I'll do it for or whatever for you guys. And then they're like, oh, you know, why are you charging us less or what? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't want to rub people the wrong way. It's super hard to price yourself for sure. So that's why I'm like, I kind of work with an agent now a little bit. Like he's a friend of mine. He used to, whatever, he's connected in the hockey space, and he helps me with a lot of stuff, but for the most part it's me, and you just got to do it. Like it sucks, but I hate like hyping myself up in a brand deal. Like I know it's like you need to do it, but I'm like I fucking got the numbers to back this shit up. It's so hard for me to say that, you know what I mean, and be like Cocky,
You're
like
a humble
cocky, but
hockey
like
guy.
yeah, I am.
You're just
I honestly
another
am.
one
That's
of
what I'm saying.
these
It comes
conservative
from the
humble
culture.
hockey
Break the mold,
guys.
man. Break the mold. It's tough to talk about yourself. It is. I get it now. I
Just
get
gotta
it.
own it. It's true. Have you ever thought of like partnering with like, you know, younger players that are like kind of budding and like just giving them like merch or something and just saying like, can you like repost? Like, how do you go about like, you know, advertising your brand?
We just started the merch in October, so I've just been pushing it on my own social because I have a decent enough following, I think, to sell it. And
300,000.
yeah,
That's
humble,
okay.
humble hockey guy. No, but like I don't really give out. I don't do ambassador stuff. It works for a lot of companies like Hockey Shot, like Butt Ends. I know they run specifically on ambassadors. Like it's cool to see that. But I just don't. It's cool. I don't have like for me personally, I don't have the merchant. We haven't figured out a specific. I mean, like I don't want to make a bunch and then it doesn't sell. So like I kind of make to order kind of thing, or we'll order limited amounts. I find that works a lot better when I sell merch. So that's kind of where I'm sticking right now. But I mean, like I'll give stuff to like actually this Christmas I'm probably gonna give some stuff to like Barber and them. And if they post it, they post it. Like if they don't, whatever. But those guys are friends of mine. They'll do it for me. But that's kind of the way you got to do it.
For sure. If I look at the merchandise space, right, like if we kind of zoom out outside of hockey, I think one of the coolest things that is happening is that, you know, you have a hockey collective or, you know, a Supreme or whoever, and they do this really interesting collab. Like one of the ones that struck out to me was FaZe Clan, the gaming channel, did something with Chinatown Market, this streetwear label, and they had a basketball sold out in 5 minutes. Do you see any interesting partnerships happening either like with like people that you're like, oh, I want to partner? You just said that you didn't. So, I mean, bad question. But do you see any other hockey pages that are like, oh, this influencer is sick, or something even outside of hockey? We're like, I want to see a collab with Biz and this like clothing brand or something like that. Do you see anything interesting happening in that area?
I mean, Biz and Wit collabed with New Amsterdam vodka, and they made the best vodka.
Yeah.
They made the number one selling vodka in the world. So I mean, so I guess it worked. I guess if you want to consider that a collab, but I mean, that's a perfect example. Why would you not? Those guys are a little bit different. They're kind of like they're established players. They were in the league, but it'd be a little bit tougher for guys like me or guys like Barber to start a fucking vodka. I'm using that as an example, but
yeah.
But it's tough to find brands that want to commit to it too, because a lot of brands still have the old style mentality too. They're afraid to throw money at certain people, so it's tough for sure. We're at like a tough spot. It's just hard to. You got to just keep trying, and hopefully they change, or hopefully they bring some people in that understand, like younger people that understand the space better.
So just like looking at your content specifically, I'm curious, like we're trying to grow our social media and we're noticing like, you know, different things work with our audience and some better, some worse. We think we found something that's working, but like what exactly do you think, or what have you noticed is like the content that people are most interested in the hockey space? Because I think then we can shape some answers to solve the question of like, how do we grow the game? Like, how do we make it more popular? Like, what are the things people like?
On my account specifically, they love fights. It's literally cliche.
No.
Conservative hockey fans for sure.
Yeah.
For the most part, I'm trying to change it a little bit, but I also have to stick to what's working to grow my following as well. So it's a little tough. But like the memes, people like memes. But like I make like different memes. Like I'm not making like shit, not shitty, but like I don't know how to explain it. There's like cheesy ones. I don't make cheesy ones. I'll make like a decent meme, but like I don't make them that often. And if I do, I find a lot of good shit on Facebook of all places, and I'll just tag the creators. But I mean, dude, people on Reddit and Facebook are insanely creative.
Have you ever considered like hiring on a meme creator like full time?
I have, but like I can't. How do you monetize? Like it'd have to be per meme. I'd have to pay how much, you know what I mean? Like I don't really. It's hard to.
Well, yeah, because you lock them in a deal.
And at the same time, like I don't want to fucking. I can do it myself, I think. Like so, I mean, no, I've thought about it, but I don't really. It's like you all about cutting costs too. You don't want to, unless you can. You don't want to pay people, right? Like I can do. It's also better for me personally. Like I can teach myself how to do all this shit myself.
Yeah.
Easier. Better for me professionally.
I just wonder if like increasing your like output would like help you get more followers. So if you like spent whatever it was on these meme guys, maybe you just tag them and they do it for free. Like imagine all the followers you could get at a faster rate potentially.
I also don't want to dilute the page with like just shit all the time. Like I want to post like some decently quality good stuff. So it's tough to, it's different on like a platform like TikTok. You can post like 10 TikToks a day and one of them will probably go viral. It's different on Instagram. It doesn't really work like that. But the algorithm, nobody even knows what the algorithm looks like these days. It's just a shit show on Instagram, really. But it's tough to grow these days unless you're already established and you're getting shout outs from other brands. It's not easy to grow anymore.
Like, how did you take your page to the next steps where it's like you're getting a serious following? Like, do you actually live by a strategy or like a philosophy to the social, or were you just going off that gut instinct of like what you think as a hockey fan is what other hockey fans want?
I literally was selfish at first, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't think it was going to be anything. I literally posted the shit I thought was funny, and then other people found the same stuff funny, and then you build off that. Like when I started, like I said, it was a joke and I didn't think it was a business. I was just posting. That was probably the best it was. Now you think way too much when it comes to content. I'm like, dude, I'm sharing a meme, but just fucking post it. Why am I like worried about, oh, the spelling's not right. Oh, this isn't right. Oh, whatever. Just fucking put it up. Like, people don't care. People do not care. So like, that's like a thing that I've noticed. They don't care. Like, I posted a meme the other day I found on Facebook about RnR Yager, and like, his name was spelled wrong. And no one made like 4 people made a comment, and I made a witty comment back. So that even helped, if anything. Like, people don't care. They just want to see the content. So I guess maybe if I did post a bit more, it would work, but it's tough. I don't even know how the algorithm works on Instagram anymore. So it's tough.
What was it before?
It was scheduled post. So like schedule as in like, it was like recent. So like if you log on at 12:30 or like whatever, and if I posted something at 12:18, if that was the most recent thing that's been posted, you'll see that first. And it was like chronological time to when someone posted something, and that was the best way, because I used to be on a schedule. Like, if you used to see when my traffic was the highest, and like at 12 p.m. is the highest, so every day at 12 I would post something that I thought would be like clicky and like something that could go viral, and then like every day at 4 p.m. I would post something else, and then every day at 8 p.m. I would post something else. So I would post like 3 times a day on a schedule. And now it's just a shit show. Now I'm just posting at fucking 7 a.m. and it goes viral until 6 p.m. and then I'll post at 2 a.m. and wake up and it's got 50,000 likes. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, how? You know what I mean? There's no like structure. It's all just a shit show at this point.
It's just random.
Instagram. Yeah, it really is. The more you like people's shit, the more you see people's shit, which I think is so fucking stupid.
Or the more you spend on the post, on like stop
page,
scrolling.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so stupid to me. Like, I grew up a page of 300,000 followers. Show all my shit. Show my shit to all 300,000 people that follow my page. Why the fuck are you hiding? Like, I grew this shit for me. Why are you hiding? You know what I mean? My shit to the people who want to see it. It doesn't make sense. It's all Instagram, like being like, they just want to push their like new sales stuff, and it's all just a money play, I think.
Well, I mean, then you're saying all this. Like, have you thought of maybe like diversifying further? Because I see you have a Twitter, which you mentioned you bought from some kid for like $100 from middle school.
$100. And how many followers did it have?
It had 17,000 at the time.
17,000 for $100.
Real hockey followers too. It wasn't like a fucking kid who bought. Like, I noticed the engagement. Every tweet got 100 likes or whatever. So I was like, all right, fuck it, we'll do something with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, I'll give you $100. And he's like, how about 150? I'm like, fuck it, do it. I was willing to pay like $500 for it.
But my thing with this is that you have brands that spend $50K a year on a social media manager or somebody to get that kind of growth. And I just think everyone's so blinded to the fact that, like, to your point of what you were saying earlier, right? Like, nobody really understands the value of a following these days.
No, they really don't. And that's actually a lot of an issue with brands when they reach out to me. They're like, how do we know we're going to get ROI? I'm like, you really don't. I'm like, it's a commercial pretty much. You're not going to sell. I'm not going to sell, like, say if I have a Yeti, I'm going to post a Yeti, and I'm not going to sell 50,000 fucking Yetis on my one post. Like, it's not going to happen. Yeah. But say I get 30 people that follow Yeti now, who knows, in 2 weeks they have a sale, you buy a Yeti, and that's because of me. You can't you can't put that into metrics. So that's another thing that people don't really get. And it's hard for me to pitch that to brands, because they're just like, we don't fucking care about those. Like, we'll just get those people on our own. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, I'm showing you actual people who could buy shit eventually. Maybe they won't, maybe they will, but that's tough too. That's how it's not easy, man. I know I've said everything's tough, but it's really not. Nothing's easy. And now I'm lucky that I've been doing it for 8 years, so I know what I'm doing. But if someone's just getting into the space, I can see where they can be like, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. For sure.
Exactly. So are you thinking of diversifying onto other platforms eventually? Like TikTok, we see like the success of Zach Bell and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going to become a TikTok star. You heard it here first, guys.
I want to see those dances.
No,
Well, we talk. No, in all seriousness, we talked to people, and they're like, "We got 1,000." Like, I was doing TikTok for 3 months, and I got 1,000 followers, and then the next
Easiest
day I
platform to grow.
have 70K, and it's like that just changed overnight.
Perfect example is JT Barnett from Triple Deke. He started this thing called Honey House TV on TikTok. I don't know if you guys watch TikTok or not. It's like do you guys know Jake Paul and how he had like a Team 10? So
he
it's like
started
that,
a content house?
Yeah, for adults. So it's like adult content house. Not like that, like not like sexually.
Not
like they
only
just do
fans.
challenges. Yeah, no, they just do like challenges and fun stuff, but they're adults that like adults would watch. It's not like kid friendly. Like it's kid friendly, but like it's more tiered towards like teens instead of
But it's
like
not hockey?
young kids. No, it's not hockey. It's just like whatever. It's just like a challenge house. And they've gained because he's just like a creator, but he also dabbles in hockey as well. He used to be a pro player. But dude, they've gained like 700K. This is their second season now. They've been doing it for like 6 months.
700K. Is that good?
I mean, it's not bad for sure, but they just keep posting and it just goes viral. And now they are wrapping their second season. Like they booked out an Airbnb for like a month in LA, and they all go there and create content for an entire month, and that's it. And then post it for the month. Like it's fucking insane how this works.
This guy, this is the guy who started Triple Deke.
He just bought Triple Deke, and then he bought a page and then rebranded it into Triple Deke. Yeah.
Wow.
Damn. That is.
We're seeing that more and more. This act, like, I'm gonna acquire this account with 35K or 50K, and then I'm gonna rebrand it, and the audience makes sense, and we're off running. And we don't have like this weird thing where like we don't want to post because we only have like 50 followers, which is something that I think trips so many people up that start.
It does. But how are you gonna grow if you don't post, right? That's a lot of people. Like you just gotta just throw shit up there and something. Use hashtags, comment on other people's stuff, find those hashtags, and like go to other people's stuff that's posting with the same hashtags. Give them some love. Like it's all like it's a Gary Vee method. I like Gary Vee a lot. I know he's like cliche for a lot of people and bullshit for a lot of people, but he's actually helped. I've used stuff that he said to my advantage in the business, in the Instagram and social media world. So I'll stick to working the stuff like that, and it works, man. Like it really does. He's not bullshitting. He's not a fucking 200 millionaire for no reason. Like he knows what he's talking about.
You were saying that this is like a great side job and like you like it, but you're not sure if it's like a long-term thing. Like the payments are coming in like randomly at sometimes, but like where do you see yourself taking in the next couple of years? Like, do you want to double down on merch? Do you want to make your own original content?
I have a lot of plans in my head, but I'm not afraid to execute them. I just am a perfectionist, so I want to execute them perfectly. So I need to find people I trust in order to do stuff. Like I want to do a podcast, but everybody's doing it now. I know it's like just do it anyways, but I need it to be good. Like I don't want to do it off like some shitty fucking whatever. Like I want like a studio. Like I'm so extra that I want like not a studio, but I want like padding and the Yeti mics and the fucking everything. I need everything like that. I know it's so like stupid, but that's just the way I kind of am. Like if I want to do something, I want to do it to the extreme.
But
so
wait a sec.
It definitely holds me back.
You were saying like you just gotta start posting. That's how you grow.
100%.
So you're not listening to your own advice. I gotta put you on. Right. I gotta put you on your heels here.
No, you're right. I don't half the time. I have a fucking iPhone 12. I could easily record myself a fucking vlog, but I don't do it. Like it's good. I'm not just fucking saying I got an iPhone 12. Who gives a shit? I'm just saying because of like
another flex.
Because it's like shut up, dude. Cut it. I'm talking about because just because like it's like it records 1080p and like 4K. Like I can easily film myself on a podcast. Like I just excuses really at the end of the day, but I do have plans to expand on the merch hopefully. And I do have some other plans that are like game changer plans, but I definitely can't talk about them. I can talk about them to you guys off air. But it's something that will definitely change the game. It's not a new strategy. It's like kind of a subscription based. That's all I'm going to say. It's a subscription based like service kind of like, that's a kind of popular thing these days. But yeah, I would funnel it through Hockey Collective as the platform. It would be hockey based. And so that's something I'm kind of working on. I've always had an interest in like an agency, like being an agent, but not like an actual agent getting contracts and stuff, but like getting players more deals, even like the mid to low tier guys, like the third, fourth liners, like those guys still make $1 million each, but when they retire and you want to maintain the millionaire lifestyle, you can, if you have a decent following and like stuff like that. And there's players who are actually down for it that I've been like consulting for a little bit. So I want to do more of that. And I think like, even if this doesn't last forever for me, I think I've done enough in this space to get a job doing this for like a Fortune 500 company or like something like that, like any kind of company like that.
But I almost feel like, why not do it on your own, man? Like I feel like you just keep plugging away here. Like if you like continue to expand and adapt and move and like figure out what's working for different brands, like I don't see how you'd even have to work for anyone else but yourself. You have to hire people and shit, but
Yeah, I don't really want to work for other people. That's just kind of that whole plan is like a if it doesn't work out kind of thing. Obviously, this is the main goal for sure. But it's like I said, sometimes it's really tough to monetize, man. So like you get down on yourself a little bit, and you just got to kind of keep sticking through it and just finding stuff that works. But I mean, like I said, it's consistently. Like, I need to like live. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you have to do stuff to make you comfortable in the world. But I mean, yeah, you could, at the same time, that's why I said keep this and keep trying to plug away stuff, and something will hit. So
well, like I mean, every job has like elements that no one likes or like that you're not gonna like, and then some things that you really like. Like what are the things with running this account that you're like, I just want to hire someone to do this? Like I don't even want to touch this.
Daily posting.
Daily posting.
Yeah, post. It's not that it's annoying. It's just like just finding, basically curating the content, because there's so much content. If I had someone, honestly, I'm sure someone would probably do it for free, but like
there's some high school kids that might do it
for sure. That literally would. You know what? You guys gave me an idea. I'm gonna post a story. I'm gonna give away some merch for a fucking intern.
Straight up. I mean, like you almost have to delegate if you want to like grow and get bigger, because like your brain can only handle so much, and there's so much shit you probably hate that you don't want to do.
Like, yeah, I think honestly curating the content, like if someone can like, it's just the tedious shit. I feel like if I had someone that can find me clips, but see, that's the thing. I know what works the best. So if I told that person, they would get it too, but they wouldn't get it as well as me. And that's me going back to my perfectionism and like, fuck, and it's not going to hit well because they've found the shitty part of the clip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like maybe someone brought me like a raw clip or something and I could just clip it instead of me having to search it on the internet. Like I probably would need someone like that. Like that would help me with that. No control over my account, but like send me a bunch of shit. Of course.
Yeah. That's the hard thing too, is finding like someone I
trust too. I don't trust anybody. It's not like, it's just like, this is my life. So like, I can't just be like, fuck, all right, here you go. Here's the account. Like, no, I don't do that. Like it would be like an NDA. It would be a contract. It would be like legal documents. And I'm not going to do that. No high school kid's going to sign fucking documents and legal.
No high school kid's mom is probably going to sign.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who's this kid? What is this Jeffrey Epstein bullshit going on? Fucking parents with their fucking kids. Like, I don't. I'm like, I wouldn't trust anyone on the internet either, man. It's fucking sketchy.
Do you think you're going to make a website sometime soon and start going in that space at all?
Yeah, I thought about the website for sure. I just haven't done it. Like, I have other stuff I'm kind of working, like that, those ideas that I have, I'm kind of working on. And just like, I'm sticking to the what works method right now, just trying to grow and work on all this stuff in the background.
Exactly.
I would love a website though. That's the thing. I just kind of want to do it myself. So I'm not the best at that, but I would have to hire someone for a website for sure.
So I think before we get going, Mose, is there anything you want to mention, by the way, before I ask this last question?
No, this has been good. I want to talk subscription at some point, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that on the pod.
We'll do that off air. Let's get some
inclusive info. We can do that when we're done this. I'm not talking about that in public. That's what they get for that. But
sign up for the subscription to hear about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No free promos, no free ads.
Yeah. This is where I drop the subscription service. If you want to hear about the subscription service, you have to sign up for this pod and
take my workshop at $10,000 for 5 years. All right.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Okay, so like you get flown out to the Minnesota high school like hockey tournament. That's like an experience that you found yourself living through this like social media life. Like, what are some other things that like this like job for you has like given you? Like, what are these experiences?
This one
what's this?
It's really shitty image, but it's not. It's a good image. It's a glare. It's Calgary. I got sent there by Budweiser. Budweiser was doing a light up night where like Calgary would score a goal in the playoffs, and everyone that was there got a cup, and the cup would light up. So, but I was a partner with Budweiser at the time, and they flew me there with a buddy of mine. They just said you could take a friend with you. I was like, sure. So they fly me there. We get to Calgary at like 4 p.m. Game's at 7. We get to Calgary at 4 p.m. Check in the hotel. Eat dinner, go to the game, leave the next morning. I was traveling more than I was at the actual in the actual city, like stuff like that. It's actually insane, but it's so fun to just get to experience that. Like I would never go somewhere for 24 hours. I'd never fly across the country for 24 hours. And like, it was annoying, but it was like fun at the same time. It's like work. I'm like, this is my job. What? I'm getting paid to do this. I'm going to the game. I'm getting free stuff. Like nothing. Like my hotels obviously were paid for and everything. Like, I'm like, dude, this is incredible. I've had experience. I was in a Budweiser commercial. It was for 0.5 seconds, so I'm not adding it to my IMDb or anything.
What,
but,
you didn't put that on your wall? What?
No,
What? No.
I mean, I don't really have what.
Like from the commercial, like a little screenshot?
I'm not
It's
here.
not
I
on your
got
wall?
something for you. 1 second.
One night in Calgary. That sounds like a tough night to have a good time.
Here you go. This is my souvenir. I was in this commercial.
Gold.
Yeah, this commercial it's the Wayne Gretzky edition. Holy fuck, the glare, man. The Wayne Gretzky edition.
Got the Audi.
Yeah, so
That might be an alt asset right there in a couple of years.
It was just standard on every. It's got the plaque, the 99 plaque. But yeah, man, I was in that commercial and they sent me that, and obviously it was in Toronto. It was hilarious. I was with On the Bench. They were in the commercial as well, and it was like a 9-hour day. We shot for 9 hours, and I used 0.5 seconds. So I was like 9 hours.
Wait, I know that commercial.
Yeah, you do. It was the Let It Shine with Wayne Gretzky and Paul Henderson.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up for after.
It was incredible. It was an insane experience. No, I didn't get to meet Paul Henderson or Wayne Gretzky. People were like, "Oh, you got to meet them?" I'm like, "I didn't." It was a different location. I didn't see them at all.
That was for like the real superstars.
That I got to get flown out to the All-Star game in 2017 in LA at the Staples Center. That was incredible, like, because it's LA. Who the hell doesn't want to go there? The whole weekend I was locked up in the like gifting suite. They have a gifting suite at every event. It was for the All-Star game. Basically, a gifting suite is where a bunch of brands pay money to like get access to a room with a bunch of NHLers and give them free shit. It's insane.
Oh my god!
Just to like wear their stuff. Yeah.
This is where their budget's going.
No, it's not an NHL budget. It's like a third party
it's the
thing.
brands themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a third party thing.
-1.
Yeah. But literally I was in this room, like it's like a suite essentially, like at the Ritz-Carlton in LA, downtown LA, with NHL players, like in a gifting suite. It was it's insane. And then you party with them
again?
and then you party with them at night, and that's more off-air stories that we can't talk about, but those players are insane, man. It's fun. It's just those are fun experiences that I would never get to have if I didn't have the page. So it's a cliche, but definitely just keep sticking to it. That's the advice. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, let's close on this, because like I got DM'd by this guy called Highlights Hockey on Instagram. Nice kid. I think he's still in high school. And like he asked me like if he should go to Ryerson Sport Media, where Mose and I went, which is like, you know, like you learn broadcasting and shit. School. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, if you're gonna go in debt and like you don't like broadcast and stuff, like I almost think you shouldn't even go and just keep doing this. He has 30,000 followers. It's like, who knows where this is gonna take you? It might teach you a lot more. You'll save money, and it's like a less risk factor, I think, than going to school.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all for the don't go to school unless you have to kind of thing. Like, you should only be going to school, I mean, unless you like it, of course. But I grew up I liked high school. It was fun. I was more there for the social aspect of high school. I didn't learn a fucking thing. Like I did, obviously, you learn basic shit, but who the fuck pays attention ever? Like most of the time you're just worried about what's going on with girls or whatever, like, or your boys are hanging with the homies. Like, dude, it's just, to me, like, I wouldn't even pursue anything in college or anything like that unless you're serious about, like, you want to be a fucking doctor or nurse, like anything like that you like need. But if you want to do something like this, just do it, man. You all the platforms are free to start accounts. It's not easy to grow, but you just do it. You're going to gain that much more experience from working for yourself, even if it's a side hustle. Dude, go to work 9 to 5, come home from 5 to 7 and 5 to 8 every day and grind away at this if you can. You know what I mean? Just do it.
Exactly.
That's Nike's slogan, but don't come at me, Nike. But I mean, literally just do it, man. I did it for fun, and look where it's at. I know it's a different story and I came in at the right time, but it still happens. So just try it. And you have to stick to it. You have to be consistent, man. Because like a lot of people are like, you just post shit on Instagram. Bro, I look for shit 5 hours a day looking for stuff on it. Sometimes I still don't find stuff. Like there's times like trade deadline, I post, half the people don't even fucking care about half the trades. And I'm sitting there, phone, graphic, done. Like post. Half the people don't care, but I still do it because it's consistency thing. So yeah, man, it's just, you just got to keep doing it. That's it.
Amazing.
Thanks so much for coming on. Good. This was great convo. I can't wait to hear these behind the scenes stories, you know, some rated R
We'll get to a
content.
couple.
You have to subscribe to our
Subscription
OnlyFans
service,
at Render and Repeat Podcast slash whatever. Okay.
First episode with me, no nudity.
Exactly. All right, Patrick, is there anything you want to plug? Just we're going to wrap up the show here. Go for it.
All my Instagram, man. That's it. Or if you want some dope ass fucking merch, you can go to Beauty Status's website, beautystatushockey.com. And then I have a collection there. That's my partnership with them.
All right, perfect. Thanks, guys, for listening. If you want to follow any of our stuff on social media, we're at Render and Repeat Podcast on all the platforms, posting a ton of stuff on there. And we'll see you guys next week. All right, peace.